All right. Time for the MMA After Hour. Time now for everyone's favorite segment. It is time for Rick's Picks.
And now it's time to open up your ears and your minds, MMA fans. It's time for Rick's Picks.
Rick's Picks.
Rick's Picks are lots of fun, and his hair is in a bun, cause it's, you already know what it is.
Rick's Picks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the new craze taking the world by storm. Live from the Vox Studios in beautiful New York City, it's time for
Rick's Picks.
No. That was not you, but now it's you.
Hello.
What do you got there? What are you wearing? What's that shirt?
Oh, this?
That little thing.
A logo for a photo studio in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, Jack Taylor?
It's called Den BK.
Den BK.
Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Check it out.
Look at you. Always with a plug.
You give me the platform, and I look. It's an alley-oop. You throw it up, I'm gonna dunk that baby home.
Well, what a day. Anything you want to say about today's show?
I
could go for 13 more guests.
Yeah, you know what? It kind of flew by.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we have a lot of guests, I get a little bit like it's just so much. This one kind of flew. You wanna maybe call up some people?
What, more people?
Yeah, why not?
No, I think I'm good for today. I think I'm good, but I have to say it's all very genuine. Like I am not faking my excitement about the return of Roger Huerta.
No, I mean, I think everybody's excited about.
Did I get like were people like, oh, that's not a big deal? Blah, blah. Like what was the reaction?
I think that was more for the Demetrius.
Listen, I didn't
sponsorship.
I didn't promote any Demetrius stuff. I didn't do that. That's on them.
No, I think people are genuinely excited. When you gave me a little bit of a heads up that this was going to be happening, I didn't expect it. That's for sure. It was out of left field. I'm pretty excited about it. And I think, he's one of these guys that I feel like people think has been away for a bit, but he's actually been competing and doing it at a level that is, I think, comparable, where I feel comfortable about him stepping in against Benson. I really
You like this matchup?
Fight. I do. And I think you're right about, I think it makes more sense for Gallagher, just because this would be, a huge win for him on the way up.
Wait, Gallagher?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Gallagher.
Against Roger?
No, Benson. That was the original fight, yeah?
No, it was Adam Borix.
Wait.
Different weight class, bro.
Gallagher was fighting who?
Adam Borix. The whole thing is new. Where have you been? You didn't see my intro?
No, I was away.
It was Adam Borix against James Gallagher. James Gallagher injured his hand. Adam Borix remaining on the card against the dreaded TBD.
Okay.
New main event, Benson Henderson.
I gotcha. I thought it was going to be, okay.
No. It's not even the same weight class, bro.
Yeah, he's a 45er. He's and
what?
Benson's.
He's on his way down to 135 these days.
Yeah, that's what me and Danny were talking about. Actually.
Danny didn't correct you?
No, he did. He did.
Oh my god.
Okay. So anyway.
Yes.
Let's go back. Let me rewind. I like it.
Yes. Okay.
I do like it.
You sure about that?
I do.
Okay.
But I think
you're supposed to be like the hot tag. You're supposed to be the fresh one in all of this. I'm the one who's been talking for the last 4 hours and 45 minutes. You're the guy who, like, when I'm getting beaten down,
because
I tag you, you run in, and then you clean the whole house. You know what? You know how that goes?
I do love that, but I do know that, and I love that. But you know what the problem that analogy is?
Yes.
You're assuming that I'm just waiting for the tag back here.
Well, yes, kind of. I mean, you're doing stuff, but you're really waiting to like have your voice heard. You know, like you're like that guy holding the string. You know that guy.
Yeah. Yes, I get. Okay, we talked about the tag already. You're going into the nuance of the
yes.
Tag. Now, nobody really holds the string.
They all hold the string. That was a thing back in the 80s. Everyone holds the string.
Not anymore.
Yeah, because you're like a noob fan. You know, you don't remember Superstars of Wrestling. You don't remember Maple Leaf Wrestling. You don't remember Saturday Night's Main Event.
My era was like the Attitude era.
Yeah,
that was.
Of course it was. I thought you were going to say like,
I'm of a certain age. What do you want me to do?
I thought you were going to say the NXT era. That's really when I got into it.
Although
the New Japan
those
era
are fun. No, come on, I don't.
That's Casey.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not into it like that. I like that stuff though. Anyway,
Yes.
we're getting off track. I like the fight.
That's Mark Ramundi.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
#1 pro wrestling fan in the world. I like the fight.
Okay.
You?
I love it. I said I loved it.
Yeah, I think it's good timing.
For both. It makes sense for both. All right. Let's get to Rick's picks.
Yes, let us. We had Austin giving away Rick's picks. I mean, geez.
Oh, I didn't see anything there.
Nah, but everybody else did. I mean,
No
there's
harm, no
surprise
foul.
anymore. You know what? Okay. First, start with a little bit of a recap from International Women's Day. Invicta FC, the female promotion, highlighted it well. Here, Verna Jandiroba, who's fighting for the strawweight title, coming up on the 24th. They did a whole series with some of the fighters. This one, Pearl Gonzalez, who's also fighting on that card. Unlike with Halloween, I was impressed with the MMA fighters showing out for International Women's Day, men and women.
Halloween? What does that have to do with this?
Halloween, I was so disappointed by the costumes this year. I feel like I featured like one from Halloween. International Women's Day, much better. A lot of stuff. I can't obviously chronicle it all. Invicta had some great stuff. All the female athletes had some great stuff. The male athletes, borderline with some of the stuff they were posting for International Women's Day.
Some cringeworthy.
A little bit like missing the point of what's supposed to be done. And obviously some were on purpose that way, but not something we should highlight.
Okay.
But there was some good stuff out there. Find it, International Women's Day. So obviously something to celebrate. Me, myself, having a daughter, it means a lot to me.
What about my daughter? She can't get a mention? Why is it just about your daughter?
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
I mean, really?
I'm not saying the holiday is to celebrate my daughter.
Well, we're both.
I'm saying I'm a new father.
Both of us.
This is my first International Women's Day as a father of a.
Is it always the
female.
same day every year?
Yeah.
What day is it? March
Here, let's see.
9th or something? No. Yeah, March 9th. No, March 8th.
Thursday, March 8th.
Yeah. As you know,
this year it was a Thursday, obviously.
As you know, the greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th.
Yes, the Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
Are you throwing that as like?
No, that's Cannabis. Cannabis said the greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th.
Do you
God bless
subscribe
his
to
soul.
that?
Yeah. I've always been a Snow fan, personally. You know, I'm
Not
partial.
familiar with Snow.
Snow.
Don't know.
Informer. You know,
Oh, okay, I know that song.
That was a bad joke.
Oh, you know, you have some odd taste. When it
Yeah.
comes to those things.
No, I could
Big
live
Shaq
with it.
in the conversation for sure.
You know, Biggie, Tupac, Drizzy
could go
Drake,
either way.
the Sixth
Okay.
God, you know.
Okay, here we go. You already spoiled so many Rick's picks this week, but
Oh,
we'll post them anyway. Alex Hernandez, who we had on the show earlier,
okay.
this was the tweet that you referred to the sofa scrubs.
Yeah.
If you see a man in full charge from a 3-point stance, storming the cage to reach you, and your thoughts are, he's probably just coming in hot for the high five. You need to reassess what the F you're talking about doing what the F you're doing in that cage. Nothing funny about this business. So him saying, look, we can touch gloves, but if you see me coming in hot like that, it's probably not a high five.
Yeah, he's 100% right. Get out of here. He's about to fight.
I think there's an expectation though. There's an understanding of decorum. So if it looks like you're going for a high five, you know, I'm not for people faking it and then doing it. It seems like his attitude was not about faking a high five. It was, I'm coming to fight. Don't come in for the high five. But I'm not for the fake the high five, throw a strike.
What do you think he did?
I think he was just not intending to high five.
Yeah.
I think he was gauging distance and
To me,
wanted to fight.
the smarter thing to do as you're about to fight is to gauge distance. Why are you worrying about high fiving?
Yeah, it seems like he was not.
I like it better. Like, you know, when the guy walks into the cage and he runs around, there's already a guy in there. You give a little, you know, pound.
Yeah, maybe do it then.
And then that's it. Get on with it.
I'm not a fighter. I don't claim to know the unwritten rules. But it seems like Alex is not about the high five. Okay. We go to
Be interesting
Friday
to ask
night.
Benil Dariush what he thinks about
I'm
it.
sure he has some thoughts on
Yes,
it. Yeah.
yes.
We go to Friday night.
Oh, yes.
Nick Newell, who we had on last week.
Yes.
getting the job done here against Sonny Luque at LFA 35.
Mr. Must See TV is back.
Tap out. And we'll talk about him later during our question of the week. But he's back. And what a performance. First round submission.
Amazing.
For Nick Newell.
The guy, like you just can't look away when he's fighting. And this is the thing. And I know I have the poll coming up, but I just want to say, like, for all the people who say that this man shouldn't get a chance to fight the best of the best, whether it's in the UFC or Bellator, like, what about Jim Abbott? Jim Abbott used to stand there and, guys could hit a ball that are going 100 miles an hour back at him, and he had to switch hands. He had the
switch the glove.
Yeah, he had to switch, and he's pitching and he's holding the one glove, and then he has to switch. He has to do that in a split second. What about that football player last week that we were talking about? I mean, this guy's getting crushed, and people are okay with that. The man has proved his worth. I mean, he has proven that he can hang in there.
Well, that's the thing.
He's not a charity case.
Yeah, if the concern is, he could get hurt, I mean, he's proven at this point, at this level, he is not somebody to worry about in that regard. In fact, his opponents are the ones who should be concerned because he continues to rack up victories. His sole loss coming to Justin Gaethje.
And I love how people use that as some kind of knock against him, like, he got smoked by Justin Gaethje. First of all, he lost in the second round. Michael Johnson lost in the second round to Justin Gaethje.
A loss to Justin Gaethje is not something that says this guy does not belong in the UFC.
No.
I think at this point the concern, the faux concern is unwarranted. He's proven that he can fight at that level. Now, does that mean he's going to come in and be able to sustain that? We don't know, but we're not going to know until he has that opportunity. I think it's clear that he is among that level. He is among that level of talent, and he belongs in there. Okay.
And by the way, like, if the UFC isn't going to bite, if I'm Bellator, I'd be all over him. Like, that's the kind of guy that you need. That's the kind of guy that you want to get attention.
Absolutely. Nick Newell belongs in a top promotion. Okay. Road FC from Saturday. This event was Road FC 46. Here we have
What is this?
Ha Jae Hyuk.
Uh-huh.
And the reason I'm highlighting him, turn this up, he sang his own damn walkout.
Oh, my God.
On the way to the cage.
It's incredible.
And he's good. He is really good.
Yeah. He's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, that's why people call him Sing-a-Song Fighter.
I just hope he doesn't gas himself out before he gets in there.
We hear the commentary team joking about it. Okay, I think that gives...
Wait, what language is that? Is that Korean?
Korean, yeah.
Wow.
And he did not gas himself out.
Yes.
He got it done. He got the win.
Look at this guy.
I think it was his pro debut. He's now 1-0. Yeah. Shout out to the homie. Like,
look at this.
You do the whole dance,
Incredible.
the singing out on the way to the cage. Road FC delivering the goods. Also from Saturday, there was so much action on Saturday. Also from Saturday, a favorite of the show and of the Twitter universe, King Reina.
Oh, yeah.
With the patented Chupa Chupa big lollipop walkout. The mystique around King Reina.
She's incredible.
Continuing.
She is
also,
so great.
This is the walkout from Deep Jewels 19. She also got a win over So Young Park to improve.
By the way, has anyone ever asked her why she goes by King Reina?
I'm sure.
But you don't know.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't know the lore, but or why the Chupa Chupa Pop, but
oh my God. I didn't realize that.
What?
That's what she's holding.
I've said this on the show before.
I don't.
You know what?
No, I don't know what Chupa Chupa, but like I saw it right now. I don't even know what that name is. Chupa Chupa Pop. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah, big lollipop.
Yeah, the big ones. I love those.
She definitely has among the best walkouts, and I took a little bit of flack for not picking her for walkout of the year.
Yeah.
And then I took some more flack on that, but we don't need to rehash that.
You have two potential walkout of the years right here. The guy singing.
I mean, I'm thinking right now, Jay Hyuk is in the lead for walkout of the year. When you sing your own, I mean that is something. Okay, also from Saturday. Can we turn this up? because I think the sound is important on this knockout. We've got Taiki Akiba. Look at this knee and listen to it.
Oh.
I mean, what a knockout. From Pancrase 294.
Oh. That's like one of those pro wrestling kicks where the guy slaps his leg just to make it sound.
Just brutal.
Ooh.
Taiki Akiba.
Maybe slow down on those extra punches there, bro.
No, you can't. It's in the heat of the moment. Come on.
Dang.
We had another huge knee, actually, from Super Fight League.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Let's tune in for this.
What, was this the first round? Ooh. Jeez Louise. Was that the first round?
I think it was. Or no, maybe it was the second. I forget. One of the
Oh, my
knockouts.
dear God. That is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Abdul Azim.
God. You know, a friend of mine, one of my best friends, Daniel Wolf, is in India right now.
He was watching this?
And he said to me, have you ever seen MTV Super Fight League? This thing is huge in India, he said. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, that knockout everybody's talking about.
Wow.
And then there was another right after this from the same event from Super Fight League.
And I saw Pawan Goyal's leg give.
Incredible head kick. Look at this. He spins him all the way around.
I've never seen that before. Oh, my God. What?
Sumit Kade.
Oh, my God.
With the
First of all,
nasty head kick knockout.
I have to say, I love the vuvuzelas.
Yeah.
It kind of adds a little something. Can we see that one more time? Sound up, if possible. Or
Yeah, can we get the sound up? This is going to replay right now.
Oh,
MTV
my
Super Fight
God.
League Final, Saturday, 8 p.m. Live and exclusive on MTV.
Yes.
Oh man, I
Here we
blinked
go.
for a second and I saw Pawan Goyal's leg give.
What?
Are you kidding me? I cannot believe that.
Oh,
What he
my God.
We just
On the money.
spoke about the fact that nobody's going to
Saturday delivered the action.
I cannot. This is one of the greatest knockouts. Please remind me of this in December because I'm surely going to forget. That is one of
I
the
will
greatest
remind
things
you.
I've ever seen in my life.
If you just keep a log of the Rick's picks or hit up
Jeez.
Kaposa. Kaposa's got the hook on that.
Oh, my
But,
God.
Yeah, Super Fight League delivering 2 incredible knockouts on Saturday.
Wow. That reminds me of that Matt Lindland knockout where he just kind of fell and turned over.
What was that, Lawler?
Yeah.
It was Lawler,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Huge fights on Saturday. Okay. Also spoiled by one Ariel Helwani.
What's spoiled? Oh, sorry. This comes up, you know?
Look, I mean, you leave something for Rick's picks.
Oh,
Jeez.
sorry.
CM Punk asked when we're going to see him in the octagon again, replying, June 9 after I win and lock eyes with my beautiful wife, embrace my coaches, and shout out my entire team, teasing the appearance at UFC. What is it, 225?
Yep.
Chicago.
United Center, baby.
What do we got? Who's he facing?
It's
Tell
gotta
me.
be Mike Jackson.
It's got to be Mike Jackson, doesn't it?
It has to be. That's the fight. It's been building for like 2 years. And it makes sense. It makes sense from a experience standpoint.
Promotionally,
Yeah.
it's just
The guy sells the fight. There's a little bit of bad blood there because of all the crap that he's been talking. Like, why wouldn't you do it at this point?
Got to be Mike Jackson.
Gotta be. It's gotta be May. Oh,
Oh boy.
what do we got here?
We have a reply to you from
this.
the champ Tyron Woodley.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Rory McDonald, saying he's a stud and my toughest matchup in the universe. Too bad we can't dance again, but congrats on his success. I've always been a fan of Rory McDonald. Rory McDonald, the topic of conversation lately.
Yeah, you know why?
Talk to me.
Well, you know
Tell
why
me.
this came up? Because after John Fitch was on the show last week, I started to get tagged in these tweets from MMAFA. And then finally I was like, I'm going to take the bait here and I'm going to talk to these guys.
Now, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Why? Why take the bait?
Because I have to say, I'm a little bit perturbed by the fact that they are against the idea of the UFC fighters signing these cards to find out if they're independent contractors or employees. What they are fighting for, the Ali Act, which is what always comes up, right, has nothing to do with collective bargaining.
Correct.
I'm talking about having a seat at the table, and I'm saying that the UFC fighters are dealing with a different set of circumstances as the rest. This is no knock on anyone fighting in Bellator or PFL or ONE or Ryzen, but they don't have to deal with things like Reebok and USADA and the TV deal that the UFC is. So, like, they're dealing with different stuff. So why, like, you should be for anything that benefits the fighters. Why are you against this?
I've read up myself a little bit on what their argument is, and essentially it comes down to they see a different method for this. They see a different avenue to getting rights.
I have to say, they're contradictory. On the one hand, they say we're like the leagues, that we're not like the leagues, that we want to see the best, that we don't want to, and then they say like, oh, I can't go over it now because of like this whole thing. I honestly had to remove myself from the conversation because I kept saying, like, he was like, oh, well, the anyone who's not in the UFC is considered irrelevant. Well, your entire faction is outside of the UFC. Are you all irrelevant? No, you're not. You can't tell me Rory McDonald, who's making more money fighting in Bellator, is irrelevant. You can't tell me Gegard Mousasi, who's making more money fighting. Like, that's at the end of the day what this is all about. Stop talking about the damn rankings. No one cares about those rankings. Like, you guys are happy outside of the UFC, fighting for money, fighting for whatever. What do you care about the UFC's title? You know what I'm saying? And so what I was showing him there was, look, you're saying that non-UFC fighters are irrelevant? Well, look at this poll. 33,000 people voted on it and voted for the Bellator champion as the better welterweight than the UFC champion.
Yeah.
Case closed.
Which the UFC champion said, he's great. He's fantastic. And he is my toughest opponent. So it'd be hard to argue that Rory McDonald is not somebody to take note of, even though he's outside the UFC.
It's weird to me that anytime one of these groups come up, and they've all been flawed, but that these guys are the first ones to say, no, our way is better. We've been doing it this way. We've been investing this and that. I got to say, I may be butchering his name, but Ian Kidd from Bloody Elbow, who lives in Scotland, just look at his thread. I had to just remove myself from that because he
broke it down well. He had a good back and forth
with
the MMA FA. Look, there's nobody, I think ultimately everybody involved kind of has noble intentions, or at least I hope. But there's going to be.
Why are we so quick to put them down?
Conflict. But maybe that's not the best method to get about it. But Tyron Woodley showing love for the Bellator welterweight champion.
Yeah, nice.
Speaking of the Bellator welterweight champion, he replied to an article by our very own Peter Carroll on MMA Fighting, saying he agrees to fight the winner of Carvalho and Mousasi for their middleweight championship after he defends his belt at 170, hopefully going down at the same night as Bellator 200. So not giving up on the idea of going outside his weight class, wants to fight for the middleweight championship. And I would like to see it.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with Rory. Because there's no real clear-cut guy.
I mean, you could run back Lima without too many people getting upset about it. It was a great fight. I think Lima's a worthy challenger.
I hate to keep bringing up the guy, but I'd love to see Roy versus Ben Askren.
I don't think you're alone. So one of the questions today was saying if George St. Pierre is not on the table for Ben Askren, what about a matchup with Rory? I'd like to see that. I wouldn't be upset about that.
It would be amazing.
In fact, I think for me, I think that's a better stylistic fight. I'd like to see Rory versus Ben more than I'd like to see GSP versus Ben. But I want to see some kind of challenge for Rory here, and I wouldn't be mad at him challenging for the 185-pound belt as well. Okay. Alexander Gustafsson.
Yes.
Who we had on the show earlier. You referred to this tweet as well. He said to Luke Rockhold he hears that Luke is coming for him. Can't ask for a more chinny dude as middleweight.
Dang.
KO'd as a light heavyweight. Fool yourself to believe it's the weight cut. I'll wait for you. Alex getting saucy on the Twitter.
Gustafsson, Rockhold, Bisping. Which you taking?
Gustafsson, Rockhold.
Yeah. I feel like most people would take that.
That's what I would like. But Luke to 205 is real. A lot of interest in this from fighters, from fans.
Yeah.
I can't fight against it anymore. A former opponent of Alexander Gustafsson.
Oh.
John Jones.
Oh.
Featured here on stage with Steve Aoki.
Living his best life.
Look, life moves on. When you're on the shelf, got to just live your life. Train in the garage, get the music going.
Yeah.
Lift some weights and go watch a dope concert.
Steve Aoki, does he sing or does he
DJ? Yes.
Yeah, but like, what do you?
I'm not the guy for music. So
what are we watching then?
You watch like a guy DJ. There's like shows. Look, Austin's shrugging too. So I guess
really?
We're not the crowd for it. But he's got a lot of fans. So
I always wonder, any relation with Shinya?
No. But there was an actress named Devin
Aoki?
Aoki, that I think was like sister
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, with Steve or with Shinya?
with Steve.
Oh,
Not,
okay.
not Shinya.
Hmm.
Speaking of the theme of the next couple of celebrities, here we go. Demi Lovato
Oh, yes.
posting to her Snapchat
Notable MMA fan.
that she borrowed this belt from Matt Hughes.
From a champion. No, you're still a champion.
Matt making
Oh,
sure to
that's
go
awesome.
out of his way to say former, and then
Mensch.
saying he's still a champ.
Belt. From a champion.
Wow, that's great.
No, you're still a champion.
That's-
Demi's still in the game, like really like in
Yeah,
this game. I love it.
She trains with Jay Glazer at his gym.
She gets to carry around a few pounds of gold,
Yeah.
formerly held by Matt Hughes, but good to see both of them. Okay, speaking of celebrities and MMA fighters, Habib Nurmagomedov, pictured here with Alex Ovechkin,
Oh, this was great.
saying thank you so much for the invite. It was an honor to watch you play live today. Yeah, two Russian legends.
Legends. I love the fact that Khabib is making all these cameos with these sporting legends. Ronaldo not that long ago. Now Ovi.
And like the level, the caliber of athlete
Yeah,
he's with,
like these
is
are like
pretty high.
legends.
Yeah.
the way,
All-time greats.
Why does Ovechkin look so much older than him?
Like it's been a hard life on that hockey ice.
I mean, he is older, but he just looks noticeably older in that picture.
It's also, I think, the clothing. Like he's wearing the dad fit, like the
I love it.
like dad.
It almost
suit.
looks like this is my son. He did well today.
He's proud of him. He's proud of him.
And look at Khabib. Can't even smile. All
Okay.
biz. By the way,
Celebrities.
By the way, Esther Lynn sent me a poll that I missed back on March 9th. They did a poll who they want to see Luke Rockhold fight next. You know, who did the people? 49% Gus, 46% Bisping. So
I mean, we'll go back in time. Maybe we'll go back in show history
yes,
and react to the call out by Alexander Gustafsson.
yeah. What are you trying to
And
say?
How, you know, how favorable I was on it and how bullish I was on it and how you poo-pooed it immediately.
I said the timing was a little off. Now I'm
and-
cool with it. It's been a month, but like we didn't
the
have.
call out was perfectly timed. He
Yeah.
made it happen.
Even
now it's rolling.
Rockhold himself said it. He said the timing was petty.
Got under his skin.
All
He
right.
did exactly what he needed to do. We'll go back and this will be one of those moments
All
in
right.
history where old New York Rick is
Mm,
on the right side.
mm.
Okay, speaking of celebrities, back to that theme. The biggest celebrity in this edition of Rick's Picks that we've been featuring is DeMar J. Smith. Pictured here, Aljamain Sterling played in a charity basketball hoops event. Last time we saw him doing this, it was I think he was guarding up on Justin Bieber. He played again in charity basketball. This time, playing with DeMar J. Smith. If you're not familiar with DeMar J. Smith, get yourself on Google. Find his original video where he talks about no weakness. It is the best video.
Oh, this guy's
on the
great.
internet.
I know,
know
this
that.
guy. Yes, of
The
course.
Jamaican,
Yes.
no weakness.
Oh man.
That's who this is. The biggest celebrity of them all. But shout out to Aljo for
Wow.
doing a good thing for charity.
That's great.
I think Big Baby Miller, the boxer,
Yeah. Chris Weidman, John
heavyweight,
Vellante.
was
They're all
also
part of it.
involved
By
in
the way, Steve Aoki's dad is a very famous guy.
Who?
Hiroaki Aoki, best known as Rocky Aoki, was a Japanese-born American wrestler and restaurateur who founded the popular Japanese cuisine restaurant chain Benihana.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
What a family.
Yes.
Not related to Shinya, though, unfortunately.
No, but man,
But yeah,
well done.
banking.
Here's another article. Steve Aoki never got a dime from his Benihana founder dad. New York Post.
Self-made man.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. A remade man. This video coming from our good friend, Devin Powell,
Oh my God.
recovering
Devin Powell.
from emergency testicular reconstructive surgery.
Please.
Back in the gym.
You say that and it pains me.
I mean, I picked this because you're tagging
Yeah.
it. And,
Oh,
and
am
look
I?
at him pulling there.
One of the great comeback stories of 2018 will be Devin Powell.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
Well, he's handling it very well.
He is. I mean,
Jeez Louise.
for what happened, I don't know if I'd have the same levity about it. So
He's an inspiration.
congrats to Devin getting back on the mend. But maybe chill on some of those like leg spread exercises.
yeah, for real. Wear two
Take it a little-
cups.
Take it a little easier. Okay, we go outside the cage to the boxing world. Gervonta Davis.
Yes, the tank.
Saying, I think I want to fight in the UFC. And he had a back and forth with a lot of MMA fighters, which I'll be honest, I think he got the better of them. I wasn't really feeling a lot of the representation from the MMA world. I think Gervonta held his own, at least in terms of social media barbs. What do you think of this? Is this just an avenue to getting attention these days? Could any boxer do this? I feel like every.
I mean,
boxer
someone
has
will
done
do it. Someone, yeah, but like, look, I want to see the best fight at what they're the best at.
Right.
Like, what do I need to see Gervonta Davis go over to MMA? Why do I want to see Conor McGregor fight in boxing? They are great at what they do. I actually just rewatched the Michael Jordan 30 for 30 about him playing baseball. Jordan rides the bus. It's great, but it just reminds you that you could be the best ever at your given sport. It is ludicrous to think that you could go to any other sport and be the best there.
A few things. I think that those are more different. Boxing is an element of MMA.
But
baseball and basketball completely different. Then we have freaks like Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson.
Yeah, but those guys were doing it their whole lives.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I'll say this: if Gervonta Davis fought in a cage, I would watch it. I would definitely not. I would definitely.
I'm not saying I won't watch it. I just,
but
I
don't think there's anything to it.
What they're best at.
Yeah,
that's all.
Speaking of doing what they're best at, we have another entrant into the MMA sphere.
Yeah, what's this all about? I just saw that.
Saying that he would like to announce that he is officially.
You better not be playing with our emotions here. I won't be happy if he is. If he's not, if he's being serious, this might be the biggest news story of 2018.
Here it is.
And by the way, I think he cut his hair recently, so this is a very old photo.
Well, I think he's just showing his pose. He's getting it. Look, his abs are shredded. He's got the.
Not even a high-res photo, first of all.
I mean, what is this?
Someone's cropped out of it, and it's an old picture of Conor in the back. Calling BS on all of this.
He used an old photo, so now he's not legitimately getting into MMA?
I just think he found a photo of himself doing the thing, the pose.
You mentioned Conor.
Yes.
Speaking of Conor.
Yes.
We have this article from The Atlantic.
Yes.
Former Trump aide Sam Nunberg, who received a subpoena by special counsel Robert Mueller.
Yes, this guy is absolutely out of his mind.
He provided an interview to McKay Coppins of The Atlantic.
Yes.
Where he channeled one Conor McGregor.
Incredible.
Saying the champ does whatever the F he wants. Oh.
Attention, please.
Oh.
Have your attention, please.
What?
We are conducting a test.
What?
Of the life safety.
Okay. I just saw Joe look at me from the window here, and I didn't know if he was like freaking out. But apparently they're doing some test. I want to hear the test. What's the test?
No, typically when this happens, they don't actually do anything.
Wait, do we need to leave?
No.
Okay.
We just sit here.
Yeah, that guy's absolutely nuts. You see his interviews where he's going crazy about saying like, "I dare you to arrest me" and stuff like that.
Just insane. But I mean, if there was ever a sign that Conor McGregor has crossed over, it's when politicians.
I want to see him say that. Like, I want actual, like.
Well, I believe this was exclusive to The Atlantic.
Oh.
I think he said it to The Atlantic.
Amazing.
Who were writing rather than doing a video interview. But he did say the champ does whatever the F he wants. And if he's the champ, I guess he gets to do whatever the F he wants.
Amen.
We're going to end, I think this is the last one on Rampage. Surprising.
Yeah.
Manager, friend of the show, Tiki, with a car. Did you see this?
What a mensch. Yes, I did see it. With a Range Rover.
What a car.
Hey, you like this one?
Do you think this was staged?
What do you mean staged?
I don't know.
Like that Tiki was in on it and knew that he was getting it?
Yeah.
No.
Yesterday.
Look at Rampage with all those cars. Like, what is that one over there? A Bentley?
It's yours.
No, that's a Rolls Royce.
Dang.
It's for giving me that contract.
The best contract of my life.
Happy birthday. Thank you for that contract. The best contract I ever had in my life. You deserve it. I'm serious, man.
Rampage, heart of gold.
I don't think he was in on it.
That's your car. Best manager I ever had. You deserve something like this. I'm not kidding. It's yours.
You want to know how you know that you've gotten old?
How?
First thing I thought about was, how does the insurance work for that car? Like, what do you actually do if you're just like passing it off to someone? Who pays for the insurance, the paperwork? Like when I was a kid, I was thinking like, oh, cool, you get a car. But now I was thinking about all the crap that comes along with it. You know what I mean?
what kind of question is that? Like, who pays for the insurance? The driver of the car pays for the insurance.
Yeah, but maybe Rampage bought it for him? I don't know.
He did buy it for him, but what does that have to do
No,
with
maybe
the
he's paying for
insurance?
the like 1 year insurance, or I don't know. When you buy the car, don't you have to have like show proof of insurance or something?
No, you have to show proof of the car first.
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on here with this?
I don't know. Getting old sucks. Just listen to Roger Huerta, you know? The guy's homeless, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but he's a traveler, and he's enjoying it. See, when you said, that you couldn't do it, there was a sense of recognition. There was a look in his eyes that he knew that you could not do it.
Yeah.
that
Oh,
this
yeah.
was the lifestyle.
He
for
was
him.
very quick to confirm that I couldn't do it.
He knew right away.
Yeah. That's cool.
He sensed it.
I'm okay with that.
Look, not for me.
No way.
I need the home. Okay, that's it for Rick's picks.
Okay.
Let's answer a few questions quickly.
Yes.
And get out of here.
Yes.
We start this question segment how we start every week's questions, except for one, I believe.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it that week.
MMA Hour question of the day. Do you think it's time the UFC signs Nick Newell?
Yes.
75%.
Whoa.
After roughly 10,000 votes, 75% saying yes, 25% saying no. You also asked why not. A lot of people
How many people voted?
10,000 roughly.
That's not bad.
A lot of people citing, he lost to Gaethje. We saw him get hurt, and there's
Blah, blah,
a
blah.
liability issue.
What liability issue? What are you talking about?
The guy has fought at a level that I think you could argue is higher than a lot of people who are in the UFC, and done fine for himself.
He's choked all. He'll choke all those liability issue people out.
Yeah. I think there's no denying that. If it's not, I think it doesn't even have to be specific to the UFC. The question is, does Nick Newell belong on the biggest stage? And I think the answer is yes. He belongs somewhere there. He is in this conversation.
Amen.
Okay. The MMA FA thread. We already addressed this.
Oh yeah.
But Kenzo here was asking, what do you think about the sayings and tactics? I think we went into that. So if you're looking
What's the
for
question?
that,
Can I see it? I can't read it from.
Not listening live, so not sure if this was addressed, but the MMA FA thread that Ariel was a part of went on for days. I left the conversation feeling like the MMA FA is not a serious advocate for fighters. What do you guys think about what they are saying in their tactics?
Look, I don't know if I'm going to go as far as to say that they're not a serious advocate for fighters.
I agree with that. I think they have good intentions for their
I just question some of their responses and their motives, and quite frankly, it feels like at times their responses are too idealistic. Like, oh yeah, it would be nice if we could fight anyone and to prove that we're the best. Like, that doesn't happen in any sport. Every sport has athletes who are under contract. You win the NBA championship, you can't go sign with another team. You have a contract for a certain amount of time. And the structure, like that's why I was saying to them, like, you can't choose when you want to compare yourself to other sports and then choose when you're not going to compare yourself. And to me, you want to know the point where I got out of the conversation? I was telling John Fitch that if you want to compare MMA to anything, compare it to pro wrestling, because MMA and pro wrestling are structured the same way. There's WWE, which is the UFC. Then there's the smaller organizations, right? When you're under contract with WWE, you can't go and compete for anyone else. You're considered an independent contractor, even though you're competing like 300 days out of the year. It's very much an employee status. It's the same, right? You know what I mean? It's
closest comparison.
Exactly. And then he started to go on like, what are you trying to say? MMA is not a real sport? And I'm like, at that point, John, I'm not even having this conversation with you. Like, what are you doing? Like, we're trying to have like an adult-like conversation here, and you're going to try to, twist my words and say that I'm not calling MMA a sport. This is a waste of time. I was a little disappointed in John Fitch's appearance, if I'm going to be honest, on the show last week. If you can't even properly debate this topic without reading off of a sheet or your computer screen, then I don't know if you're well equipped to be debating this topic. So I tried to take this to Twitter, where they have all, the resources available, and they keep resending the same screen grabs over and over again and not even answering any of the things that we were bringing up. I have no problem with those guys. I just have a problem with the fact that they're trying to put down other people who are trying to get things accomplished for the UFC fighters. It comes across as a bunch of people who are somewhat resentful towards the UFC, and at times with good reason, but they're all on the outside looking in. Don't be resentful towards the fighters who are currently in the UFC, trying to make the UFC experience better for all the fighters currently and in the future. And that's the problem mainly that I have with them. Like, you're doing your own thing and you're doing great work, and you have the Ali Act, and you're involved in the class action lawsuit, and things are being done. But these guys are trying to get collective bargaining and trying to get a seat at the table. And I just don't understand the thought process behind putting them down and the thought process behind saying that these two things should be mutually exclusive. I don't believe that you can have one and have the other instead. Like they could both happen. They could both be successful. And continuing to compare it to other sports, it just doesn't happen. Like he's like, oh yeah, Roy McDonald went to sign with Bellator because, the UFC chose not to re-sign him. And the example I gave was like, how's that any different than the Knicks not signing Jeremy Lin, choosing to not re-sign Jeremy Lin? This happens. They made a business decision not to sign the guy. UFC made a business decision not to sign Roy McDonald. Guess what? He's making more money over there. Come on. I don't know. Anyway, once they got into the whole like, oh, it's not a real sport, I'm like, I'm out of here. There's a lesson to be learned there.
A question here from Chris K. Will Brooks and now Rick Story have signed with PFL. Do you think this upcoming tournament will be a success?
I don't know if it will be a success. They're signing some names that are available. There aren't a ton of names that are available. I'm looking forward to seeing the entire field. I do have my concerns, my hesitations about the tournament, the season, all that. I love the fact that there's $1 million on the table for the winner. That's great. I love the fact that there's a different place for these fighters to go outside of Bellator and the UFC. I'm all for that. Give me more of these organizations that are, backed by good people with strong ties, business ties, etc. The idea of it, I've seen it with the IFL, with Bellator. I do believe that it is problematic, but I wish them the best, and I hope that there are more avenues for fighters. So it's great to see a guy like Rick Story go over there and sign with them.
Okay. Playing Fantasy World, if you were offered the UFC president position, A, would you take it? And B, what would be your first 3 changes? And you can't, this person's caveat, Mike Simpson's caveat is, you can't implement the removal of the Reebok deal because that's universally out.
Yeah. I wouldn't remove the Reebok deal if I'm the president of the UFC because I make money off the Reebok deal. And contrary to what we were told, none of the money goes to the fighters. I'm kidding, of course. But you remember we were told that all the money goes to the fighters? Well, that didn't really turn out to be the case. So I wouldn't really look to take that out of the question right away. But look, I would be lying if I didn't dream sometimes and say like, yeah, I'd love to market, 6 months of high-level MMA and show these people how it's done because I do believe that I could do it better. Is that bad to say that I think that I could do it better than the majority of the people who are calling the shots these days? Is that bad?
But what? Give me. Are you going to tip your hat? Or are you going to say how you would do it better?
I would take more. I would put more time into pinpointing athletes and telling their stories the right way and building fights the right way. The sort of factory-like process that we're in now, where it's just like, okay, and these are the next set of fights. It doesn't work. I obviously don't like the uniform, so I would look to alter that and make the guys look different and the females look different as well. I would look to rebrand Countdown and Embedded. I think that they have become very stale in terms of telling those stories and getting people emotionally invested in the fighters. I would do little things to start changing. And by the way, I, as a promoter, would go out and pound the pavement and try to not only leave the selling to the fighters, I would go out and sell the storylines as well. Fabricio Verdum is coming to London to fight Alexander Volkov. What an opportunity this is for Alexander Volkov. And Leon Edwards, who's won, and this guy, and John Phillips. Like, there's stories galore when it comes to these cards. It's just a matter of going out there and selling the stories and telling people about the stories. That's the job of the promoter. You have to have a megaphone, and you have to tell the world why they need to spend their Saturday watching these fights. So, yeah. Is it so wrong? I believe that I could do it better. Now, am I actively seeking this? No. I like it on this side of the fence. But if you're to say to me, like in an alternate universe, if I could do it,
to the castle.
Yeah, I think that I could do it better, and I think I would turn that ship right around. Any ship, give me the PFL ship.
Damn.
Yeah, give me the Bellator ship.
All right.
Look, you have to have confidence, like Alex Hernandez said.
Speaking of that, is Ariel actually working on a book about his career this far?
Yeah.
And if so, how far away is it from publication? Will this all be in the book? Hashtag the road to Helwani. Like, are we?
Well, I mean, maybe he's saying the road to Helwani is like the road to the book coming out. Of course, we all know that the name of the book is Highway to Helwani. That's the name.
Is it in the works? Are we?
I'm not one to release information before it's 100%. That's not my MO. But I'll just let all of you know, There are receipts. I am taking note. So one day the book's going to be great. This is the 7-year anniversary of the Strikeforce Sale interview, which wasn't shot on March 12th, by the way. It was actually shot 2 days prior, but this was the day in which it came out. And there's a great story about that one. One day I'll share that one. So there's a lot. There's a lot that's happened in the last 10 years.
Stay tuned.
And there's more to come. One day I'm going to have a chapter on the time that we decided to break up the show into 6 parts on iTunes. No one's going to read that chapter. Let us not.
Judging by the Twitter response, everybody's going to read that chapter.
Let us not remember that.
Moving right along and never talking about that again. Were you good students? This person asking both you and I. Were you good students? What grades did you get? What school did you graduate? These are a few off the wall ones to end. We'll do these real quick. Were you a good student?
I was a very anxious student. I was a very hardworking student, but things didn't come to me easily. Like my wife, things came to her very easily. I had to really study hard, and I was one of those students that got super pissed when I didn't get like a 95.
Right.
And by the way, like
I would say that makes you are a good student, though.
Sure. Like I took it very seriously. Like one time in the 7th grade, I skipped class, and then I felt so bad about it. I went home and told my mom that I skipped class.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
You're pathetic.
And by the way, in my school, we didn't have A, B, C, D. We had numbers like 85, 86, 87.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
At least till college.
Yeah, till college. But that was the kind of student I was. I was very anxious because I didn't want to fail.
I was the opposite.
Oh,
I was the one who came easily too and didn't study very hard.
Look at you.
Then
it all came crashing down.
Well, I took it less seriously, and then all of a sudden in college I buckled back down. What grades did you get? I was a A- student.
What was your GPA?
3.65.
Oh yeah,
I graduated.
I think mine was 3.6.
Yeah, I graduated. I buckled down in college. I took it a little more seriously.
What school did you go to?
Although
what college?
I went to Baruch College in the city.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
What?
I'm kidding.
How dare you?
I went to Syracuse University, by the way, in the NCAA tournament, much to the chagrin of all the pundits.
A lot of people. Yeah, I mean, look.
Yeah. But they're in the first 4 that have to get in. You know, that whole weird thing.
Let's be real about their chances here.
No, but they might win that first one, but not the second one.
Yeah, it seems like we were both good students. Different approaches, though.
I was a very nervous student.
I was not diligent.
I remember one time, and I think it was the 9th grade, I was sitting in biology class in the middle of a test, and I said, God, I'm okay with failing this because I felt like it was inevitable, but please let the Knicks win the playoff game tonight against Indiana Pacers. And guess what? They won, and I did horribly on the test.
He listened.
He listened.
He or she listened.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite Pixar movie? From Lucas.
Oh, Pixar. Man, what's the one that just came out? Wait, so Coco is Pixar?
I think Coco is Pixar.
Is Finding Nemo Pixar?
Finding Nemo is Pixar.
What about Moana's not Pixar. That's Disney.
Coco is Pixar.
Yeah, I can't vote for that one because
for me it's either Toy Story.
No, never saw Toy Story.
Or The Incredibles, because I mean those are really the only 2 I've seen, and I love them both.
Never saw either of them. Oh, well.
Never saw Toy Story?
You know which one we like? Inside Out. That's a great one.
Don't even know that one.
Yeah, this is newer. Lava.
You've never seen Toy Story?
No, never saw it. Oh, Finding Nemo. That's a classic. Ratatouille, also great. Inside Out. Good Dinosaur was in. Finding Dory was fun. I'm gonna go with Inside Out. I loved Inside Out. I saw it with my son. It was actually the first movie that I took my son to, my oldest son. A lot about feelings, inner thoughts.
I mean, all these movies are pretty fantastic. I was looking at all the ones Pixar has made, and
yeah, the early day ones I have not seen, but Inside Out is a great one.
I've seen Toy Story.
No, I never saw any of them.
Know what to say to this. Absolute must-visit restaurant in Lower Manhattan?
Well, Lower Manhattan I won't say, but I'll say the greatest restaurant in the history of mankind is in Manhattan. The greatest, like by far. I've been to almost every, around the world. It is Sasabune on 73rd and 1st. Sushi, but it's unlike any sushi that you've ever had. It's the greatest sushi ever. There are no menus. It's omakase, so you just sit there.
Yeah,
It's
chef
yeah,
selection.
it's a little pricey, but you have never tasted food like this in your entire life. The place looks like a little library. It's tiny, and you have
Not
to.
Lower Manhattan though, right?
Yeah, it's Upper East Side. It's 73rd and First. But it is when my wife and I go for dinner for any occasion, it's always there, nowhere else, because I adore that place with all my heart. I mean, it is an out of body experience eating over there. Nothing makes me happier.
Absolute must visit. Go to, I don't know, Katz's.
Katz is cool. There's also the pizza place, John's.
I mean, there's plenty of good food. I think if you're looking for like an experience, maybe Katz's.
Katz is cool. Of course, Rampage
there's
and I enjoyed
Rampage
a
and
matzo ball soup there, and of course
Ariel
the
enjoyed a
pecan
matzo
pie.
Okay. How many holes does a straw have?
Well, I think that the right answer is 1, but I'm going to say 2 because there's 2 entries. So I'm going to say 2.
I think I'm in the 1 camp.
It's 1 long hole, but there's 2 entries. So if there's just 1 entry, I would say 1.
I was asking about the hole. Like
There's 2 hole entries.
yeah, but there's
like-
2. There's 1 hole.
How
with
many?
2 entries.
How many entries? Like ear entries do you have?
2.
It's the same thing as the straw. They're connected. They're connected to each other. You can actually like put something if you wanted through. So
Different because that individual ear canal has 1 hole.
yeah, but you could
With
go
2
through like if
entries.
you had a string. I've seen
No, there's a
magicians
brain
do it.
and a skull and other things kind of in there. I mean, for most of us.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna say.
I'm going 1. You're going 2.
Is there a right answer?
No, I think it's one of these like is a hot dog a sandwich type things. I'm going 1 hole.
I know that's what you want me to say, but I'm gonna argue too.
I don't want you to say anything. You say what
I
you
know
want
what
to say.
this guy, the guy who
Oh,
asked the question.
Dan, look, you're leading questions over here,
Yeah.
Ariel. I'm going 1 hole. Ariel's going 2 holes. That's it.
I'm glad
end on that.
I'm glad we cleared that up at the very end.
Well, we didn't because we had differing.
It's debatable. Not quite like our hummus debate of a couple of weeks ago.
I wasn't.
Dip or spread?
And both is not an acceptable
No.
answer.
I've never spread hummus in my life. I've never taken a knife and spread hummus on anything.
I have not either, but I would understand if somebody.
What is
did.
the answer?
Does that make sense?
What is the answer?
I'm dip.
Okay.
I'm
thank
dip.
God.
But
This would have been the end of us.
no, I'm
I just
dip.
said spread.
But at the same time, like, what is the problem with spreading the hummus?
It's not a problem. It's just not what it is. I don't dip things into cream cheese,
I do.
right?
I'll dip a cracker into cream cheese.
No, I don't think.
Does that make me a savage?
just-
I'll open the
you are a
pack and dip
Do you
some
dip
crackers.
into butter or do you spread butter?
Butter. See, I would spread cream cheese on a cracker too, but I like to open up the pack and just scoop it, kind of.
It's disgusting.
The Philadelphia pack. Shout out.
Okay.
Sponsor?
Would be nice. We
Um,
don't get sponsors.
but I'm going dip on hummus.
All right.
I'm going dip on
Goodbye to you. It has been a pleasure. It's time to go, and it's a great way to end it because we had someone at the top of the show, not New York, Rick, Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson, talk about his new sponsor, Zevia. Haven't tried it. Looks good. I congratulate him on that big accomplishment. All right, we're out of time. You can hit my music. What a day it has been. My ears are so tired. They feel like they're going to fall off, but it has been fun. Talking to all these people from around the world of MMA, a who's who cast. Started with Ben Askren talking about that GSP fight. He predicted that the GSP fight is going to happen by the spring of 2019. In fact, he said in the spring of 2019. Is he telling the truth? That's the question. We shall find out. But I feel like there's some momentum to all of this. Crazier things have happened. So we'll see. Thank you very much to Ben Askren for stopping by. Thank you very much to Demetrius Johnson, and congratulations to him on signing that deal with Zevia. That is exciting, and looking forward to his return. Hope he gets well soon. Thank you very much to Alex Hernandez, and congratulations to him on his big win at UFC 222. Great stuff from Kat Zingano, as always. And definitely pick up her book. Train like a fighter. Get MMA fit without taking a hit. There it is. Boom. Thank you very much to Darren Till. Good luck to him in getting that fight. All the best to John Phillips. Looking forward to his long-awaited UFC debut on Saturday. All the best to Rick Story, and congrats on signing with the PFL. Congratulations to Raquel Pennington on getting that title fight at UFC 224. Looking forward to that, May 12th in Brazil. Thank you very much to Alexander Gustafsson. Good luck to him. Congrats and good luck to Mirko Krokop at Bellator 200 against Roy Nelson. Always great to talk to him. Good luck to Leon Edwards this Saturday at UFN London. All the best to Alir Latifi as well. And congratulations and welcome back to the one and only Roger Huerta, who meets Benson Henderson April 6th in Budapest. Back next week, same time and place. Until then, I say peace. Savaria.